for a 168-pound title, and after losing that fight, was chosen as a likely opponent for Keith Holmes, who held a 160-pound championship belt, managed to score an upset of Holmes, kept the belt for a year and a half or so before losing it in a 7-round TKO against Holmes in Holmes' hometown of Washington, D.C. He also fought William Jaffe, so he's been in against some big names, if not punchers as big as Trinidad.
And he was very candid about his role here. He said he's here for a payday, and he hopes to revive his career.
Which sat politely through the battle between the two Miami fighters, now gets ready to give us a little of the old San Juan. As in a moment, Felix Trinidad will begin to enter, and they'll blow the lid off the Roberto Clemente Coliseum.
One of the reasons that Felix Trinidad is so beloved here not only that he's had a lot of success, Jim, but that unlike so many fighters, he's handled his success well.
So Cherifi waits in the ring. And here comes Tito. Now let's go to ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. to continue the crescendo.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, y a todos nuestros amigos boricuas, bienvenidos aficionados al box al Coliseo Roberto Clemente por la atracción especial de la noche. We welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Don King Productions, in association with Empresas Angelo Medina, HBO Sports, and the undisputed king of beers, Budweiser. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the Puerto Rican Boxing Commission, the president, Jose Peña Garricano. Introducing to you now our three judges, all from Puerto Rico, presentando a los jueces. Carlos Colon, Cesar Ramos, and Nelson Vasquez. And the third man to the ring, our referee in charge, el referees, Ismael Quiñones Falú. Bien amigos, esta es la pelea principal de la noche de 10 asaltos. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division, live from San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's time for the main event of the evening. Presentando en la esquina roja, introducing first in the red corner, wearing black trunks, hailing from Lyon, France, tiene un peso de 159 libras, he weighed in at 159 pounds. Su récord, 32 victorias, 5 derrotas y un empate con 20 ganadas por knockout. His record, 32 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw with 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former WBC middleweight champion of the world. Aquí está el ex campeón del mundo peso mediano, introducing Hacine Cherifi. Y su oponente en la esquina azul, his opponent in the blue corner, wearing gray trunks, el hijo favorito de Cupe Alto, Puerto Rico. Pesando 160 libras, he weighed in at 160 pounds. Tiene un récord de 40 victorias y una derrota con 33 ganadas por knockout, with a record of 40 wins. 1 loss, he has 33 wins coming by way of knockout. He is a 5-time world champion in 3 weight divisions. Presentando al 5 veces campeón del mundo, demos la bienvenida al sensacional Felix Tito Trinidad. Aquí está el referee Ismael Quiñones Falú.
Sheriff, listen, out of love. Any problem, question the ruler. ¿Es qué? Pues ya saben cuáles son las reglas. Entonces, choquen los guantes, suelten, pull long.
What we're watching for is whether Tito has made any changes, and secondly, how he will deal with being tagged a good shot if that happens.
Most importantly, you got to understand, guys go back to the gym after a knockout, and it's not the body that needs to be in shape. Something happened inside that head. How do they get that back in shape? That's a job of a real trainer.
Tito's trainer, of course, is his father. His father, who was not entirely forthcoming with Tito down the stretch of the fight against Hopkins, seemingly painting for Trinidad from round to round a rosier picture of the fight than was the picture in the minds of ringside observers.
You know, after you've been knocked out in a fight, I mean, truly devastated, you're never the same. It takes years before you're really back on your feet again. So Trinidad is out there boxing with some ghosts, and those ghosts are in his head. And that's not going to be easy to exercise tonight.
Even a fighter as resolute and confident as Tito Trinidad.
It takes everything away from you. Not only do you lose your title, you're devastated. And it takes a moment, it takes a fight or two to get yourself back to where you were.
Cherifi is normally a very busy fighter, but he's being a very careful fighter here.
What Felix Trinidad had originally was he was a daredevil. He didn't respect anyone. You take a little bit out of the way and you give the other guy some respect, they turn into someone else. So you see that was a right hand by Trinidad, and he stayed right in front of Cherifi. Got to throw that right hand and move away one side or the other.
Cherifi shows a tendency to back straight up when Trinidad goes at him.
That was the first headshot. Trinidad didn't flinch.
Cherifi not regarded as a big power puncher. Trinidad seems to just want to land some punches here in the first round. Hasn't really opened up on any of his shots.
You see, once you've been knocked out, every shot you get, you have to question yourself. Is this another one of those? Am I going to be knocked down again? You ask yourself that over and over again, where beforehand that question did not exist.
Saw Trinidad snap Cherifi's head with a right-hand shot, his biggest punch of the fight so far.
Of course, George, there's also the question about how Cherifi's going to take that first big shot.
I don't think that Cherifi's got nothing to worry about. He's in a win-win situation. You make a champion and a puncher like Trinidad take his time, you've got it made.
Well, but he's always been a stalking fighter. He's never been an over-anxious fighter.
And he used to have significant trouble getting knocked down in the first few rounds before coming on. As we go to the corners, in Tito's corner, they speak Spanish. The interpreter is Ray Torres. When we come across the ring, in Cherifi's corner, where they speak French, our interpreter is Thierry Gourjon.
How do you feel, Tito? You're fine, doing fine. You're boxing well. Yeah. Okay, keep your hands up. He's going to throw an overhand right.
Hacine, you have to move. Keep your hands up. Don't stay still. Hit and get away. Use your right. Use your right. Okay? You're doing okay. Just move.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Trinidad, 9 of 29, economical with his punches, as is his norm. He tends to throw fewer punches than other middleweights, focusing on the power shots. Cherifi, 5 out of 38. Only 38 punches thrown by Cherifi in round one. Cherifi is a guy who, against most opponents, will throw between 70 and 80 punches per round. But it's hard to do that against big punchers.
Trinidad has already started to integrate a little footwork into his stuff. He does not need it. It's a slight moves that he needs. Not a whole lot of backing forward.
And the first sizzling Trinidad left hook, the signature punch, fell short. Trinidad tapping with the jab. Cherifi reaching with a straight right hand. Trinidad, and it sets up a left hand upstairs.
Trinidad better be careful trying to bob and weave a guy who doesn't have his height advantage. You got to get down there where he can hit you with stuff. He does not need to be bobbing and weaving. Just go for it, moving your head side to side. Don't go down. Every time he gets low, he gets touched.
Left hook landed for Trinidad. That's what brought the noise from the crowd. Another left hook inside. None of these the kinds of laser shots that devastated William Joppi in Trinidad's first middleweight appearance. But nevertheless, enough to knock Cherifi back and off balance. good. Trinidad beginning to loosen up his money punch.
At the same time, though, when he lands a good shot, he goes forward. He does not continuously move from side to side. That's where the danger can happen. You move side to side continuously, do it even if you hurt the guy. The head is not the same once you've been knocked down like he was.
So you see no major technical adjustment in the wake of the Hopkins fight. Still just doing basically the same things he's done before.
Well, he got a little movement going now, but if he hits one shot, he stands to stick his head up and goes straight at you.
Is that a mark of how much he believes in his power?
No, you want him to realize the power that he has.
Okay, move your ways. He's just throwing an overhand left. We can't be too careful about that, but you know, just move around, Tito.
Hacine Cherifi opened up and threw 60 total punches in the second round, and as the result, Felix Trinidad was able to land 16 of 26 power shots, 62%. That's a pattern we should see throughout the fight. The more Cherifi throws, the easier it is to hit him. There's a straight right hand that clips Trinidad on the left temple. That's the kind of punch that Hopkins bothered him with so much throughout the fight in New York.
No, because he's standing right in front of the guy, he gets it. And once you've been dropped, when you get hit with those little light shots like that, it's a hard time for your mind to distinguish, is this the same fight or what? Same thing's gonna happen to me or what?
Grins as Trinidad's jab rocks him back.
Now we're seeing a little skill and experience work for Trinidad. Used to be all strength and power, destruction. You've got to add that to your repertoire sooner or later. It may as well be now.
He used to be what I would call, George, a puncher-boxer rather than a boxer-puncher. He's now adding a little bit more boxing and movement to his repertoire.
Cherifi taps Trinidad with the left hand.
That Cherifi has got arms like a crab there. He sticks those things out there, though you're out of range, he can still hit you.
Trinidad was open for the right hand. Cherifi missed and hit him a glancing blow.
Trinidad had better do something to the body. He's allowed Cherifi to just escape any damage to the body.
Felix may have gotten the confidence in round 2 to believe that he was on the verge of doing something big upstairs. There's the left hook to the body.
Yeah, he's trying to get it in.
He caught Cherifi off balance. That was not a punch that seriously hurt him.
Trinidad moved his head that time, and he moved to the side. Oh, he got hurt that time. Cherifi hurt him.
With a right hand.
A right hand. It wasn't much, but it hits that little shaky spot that exists in your head.
With it calm, you know, be nice and calm. When you go look for him, bob and weave. Cut the ring off on him.
How you doing? Listen, you need to move your head. You can't stay still. You need to move your head. You need to use combination, right, left, use your speed, move around, go.
In the knockdown, Cherifi moves, steps back. as Trinidad's right hand finds him right on the jaw. Good punch, not a damaging punch. The proof of which came late in the round as Cherifi came over with a right hand.
Round 3 may have been one of the better boxing rounds of Felix Trinidad's career. I say boxing because he threw 26 jabs, and I don't know when we've ever seen him throw that many. He landed 17, and it set up the power shots and helped produce the knockdown. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim, 30-26, 3 rounds to nothing, Felix Tito Trinidad. You know, Jim, you got to give him an extra point in the 3rd round for the knockdown. But I got to tell you something. It's very easy to judge a Felix Trinidad fight because when you watch him throw that left jab, Cherifi's head usually either snaps back or he gets knocked back. In other words, the judges should have no trouble, in feeling the power of Felix Trinidad. We just saw it right there.
Not just the judges. I mean, I don't know what loss of senses you'd have not to feel Trinidad's power. That's one of the most obvious things in the arena.
You got to be careful if you're Trinidad, because after a knockout that he suffered, you can be knocked down with anything. Ordinarily, you wouldn't be.
And Cherifi keeps trying to counter with the straight right hand, well aware of which punch it was Trinidad couldn't stop in New York. But here comes Tito, jabbing and jabbing again to set up another power shot. And there's a brilliant combination. And that left hook was an explosion.
Trinidad is back. Back on the block.
I can't say that I've seen him flinch from anything, really. Been hit a few times, which is good. But this is vintage Trinidad right here.
It was a vicious body shot with the left hand, and Cherifi is hurt again as Felix tries to set up the finish. One more body punch.
Archimo told me once you knock these guys down, you better be careful, because that's when they're at their most dangerous.
Well, certainly Tito isn't thinking defense at this moment. Almost a minute still to go in the 4th, and there's a huge right hand and another devastating left hook. 3rd knockdown of the fight. And Cherifi shows tremendous courage.
And Cherifi waves his hand as if to say, cheer for your hero. That was a great shot.
You should look back at that film, because Trinidad hurt his left hand. Sitting there flinching it hurt.
You think he hurt it with that last big left hook?
That hand was hurting.
Maybe not as bad as Cherifi's head was hurting.
Oh, it didn't hurt at all.
You say he didn't feel a thing?
Didn't feel a thing. Oh, painless Felix Trinidad, painless.
Once Tito began to use the jab to set up his power punches in the 3rd round, he was devastatingly effective.
And if I'm an opponent of his, I'm going to watch that when he hurt his left hand. That's a very important thing now.
Well, we're going to look at the replays here in a second, George, and you'll be able to show us perhaps the moment where he flinched from the impact with the left hand.
So you see that hand wrapping idea is more than a necessity. He better do it.
Absolutely. Tito closed the show, landing 14 of 30 power shots there in that round. It's another knockout victory, the 34th of his career. First knockdown of the round. There were 2.
That's that left hand that got it. Look at him traveling backwards. That left hand did it.
Sensational left hook there. Boom. Now there'll be another left hook devastation coming up here. That's still knockdown number 1, the 3rd different angle of that knockdown. And is this one more of knockdown 1? Yes. Showing you every replay angle.
Right on the button.
And I think we've got one more replay of knockdown number 1. Ah, yes, let's see it from upstairs. Boom. All right.
That means he's as courageous as a matador. He stayed right in the pocket.
Now here's knockdown number 2. And this is where the left hand may have been damaged, George.
That hurt both guys.
Perfect shot.
Well, they don't show him going back to the neutral corner and shaking that hand. That's Trinidad.
Right on the point of the chin. Right on the point of the chin. So the 34th knockout victory of Felix Tito Trinidad's career, and exactly the bounce back that his father and promoter Don King were looking for after the knockout loss to Bernard Hopkins in New York. Expectations fulfilled here in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
He needs 2 or 3 more fights like that before he gets back into the mix, get his confidence back, and we'll have us another champion again.
2 or 3 more. That'll be interesting to see. Jimmy Lennon Jr. with the official particulars in the ring.
Damas y caballeros, tenemos el tiempo 2 minutos, 32 segundos en round número 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the time 2 minutes, 32 seconds in round number 4. Our referee stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, el ganador por knockout técnico, Felix Tito Trinidad.
Final CompuBox numbers, and you will see that Felix Tito Trinidad, who normally throws about 40 punches per round, was right there, even a little below that, focusing mostly on power punches. Landed 81 of 166 overall, landing 47 more, throwing 23 less. Cherifi with the low connect percentage. Power shots, and you'll see that Trinidad, as is customarily the case, was devastatingly accurate with his power punches, landing almost 50% of them. And of course, the effectiveness of the left hook speaks for itself. But maybe the biggest wrinkle I saw was that in the last 2 rounds, Felix set up his devastation with the jab and boxed and moved more than has been the case in the past. Larry Merchant stands by with Tito Trinidad.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Congratulations, Tito.
Felicidades, Tito.
Thank you. There was a lot of speculation about how you would approach this fight. Did you feel at all tentative or nervous about getting back in the ring?
Había mucha especulación de cómo tú ibas a aproximar esta pelea. ¿Te sentías nervioso, tentativo, que algo que no podías hacer?
No, nervioso no, pero sí sé que voy a estar peleando frente a toda mi gente y quiero demostrar lo que es Trinidad. Y sí, siempre se siente mucha emoción.
Yeah, I felt there was some emotion, there was a little nervousness. I'm performing in front of my people, and it's an emotional thing.
There was also speculation, how would you react to being hit with some clean punches? Do you feel there was any difference in how you reacted in the ring tonight?
También se preguntaba que cómo tú te vas a sentir después que te pegaron duro. ¿Sentiste algo esta noche diferente?
De verdad, Cherifi es un boxeador que un boxeador fuerte, un boxeador que es un 160 natural. Es un buen peleador, pero yo vine a ganar.
Cherifi is a good fighter, a solid middleweight, and he didn't really do too much for me, but I came to win.
Is it an illusion or reality that we think we saw you doing more movement from side to side and being a little bit more of a boxer tonight?
Es una realidad o una ilusión que nosotros te vimos esta noche boxeando, meneándote como un estilista.
Bueno, de verdad, yo siempre he tenido eso conmigo, pero es que en mi pelea, mis boxeadores se me van a correr y no he podido demostrar lo que es Tito Trinidad, pero esta noche lo demostré.
It's a reality because I've always had that. I've always had the movement, the dexterity, all the skills. Tonight I showed it.
All right, let's take a look at the knockdowns and have Tito please describe the knockdowns to us.
Trata de describir lo que está pasando.
Bueno, eso fue un gancho izquierda completamente en la quijada.
That was a left hook right to the jaw, and now he got.
Yo pego bien fuerte con esa mano.
I hit real hard with that left hook.
Aunque hoy lo lastimé con la derecha,
and I hurt him with the right hand this time I hurt him with the right hand a lot.
We noticed that you were throwing more jabs, especially in the last 2 rounds. Was that a plan?
notamos que tú estabas boxeando más, tirando más jabs, especialmente en los últimos 2 rounds. ¿Ese era el plan tuyo?
Sí, de verdad que lo he practicado y gracias a Dios nos salió bien en la pelea.
Yeah, that was the plan. We practiced in the gym, and thank God everything came out right in the fight.
Are you ready now to step up to fight the best guys out there after this one tune-up?
Ahora estás tú listo para pelear a los mejores que hay allá después de esta tune-up, de esta pelea fácil.
Bueno, de verdad que vamos a enfrentarnos, por decir, los mejores, porque yo soy el mejor o uno de los mejores. Vamos a enfrentarnos a los mejores ahora.
Well, we're going to fight the best. I am the best, if not one of the best, and I will fight the best.
All right, you have insisted all along that you want to fight Bernhard Hopkins next. Is that what you believe now?
Tú has insistido que quieres pelear con Hopkins en la próxima pelea. ¿Eso es lo que va a pasar?
Sí, creo que eso es lo que va a pasar. Yo quiero enviar mi saludo a Hopkins. Hopkins es un buen peleador, pero se va a enfrentar al mejor el día que nos enfrentemos.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what's going to happen. I want to say hello to Hopkins, but the day we fight, he's going to meet the best fighter.
All right, your promoter, Don King, has already agreed with Oscar De La Hoya's promoter to have a fight with him if he beats Vargas in September. Will you go in that direction, or do you want Hopkins first?
Tu promotor Dan King ya tiene un medio arreglo con el promotor de La Hoya, que si él derrota a Vargas en septiembre, que tú vas a pelear con De La Hoya. ¿Eso es lo que va a hacer?
Bueno, aquí está mi promotor para mi padre, para negociar con mi promotor Don King. Le agradezco a Don King todo lo que ha hecho por mí, pero veremos a ver qué pasa.
Well, it's my promoter, Don King, and my father dictate my career. They're going to negotiate, and we'll see what happens.
So there is a possibility that you will wait to see what happens in the De La Hoya-Vargas fight before committing to a Hopkins fight.
Entonces hay una posibilidad que tú esperarías el ganador de Vargas y Hopkins antes de comprometerte en una pelea con Hopkins.
Bueno, de verdad, creo que vamos a ir directamente con Hopkins, pero ya que me están preguntando, vamos a decir que no voy a dar por terminado esa pelea, pero primeramente creo que va a ser Hopkins.
We want to go directly with Hopkins. And a lot of things can happen, but Hopkins would probably be the next one.
Thank you very, very much, Tito. Congratulations.
Okay, gracias. Y quiero darle las gracias a Don King.
I want to thank Don King.
Y quiero dar un saludo por esta cámara a María de San Lorenzo. Saludos a ti.
And I want to say hello to Maria from San Lorenzo. Hello, Maria.
Y a todas las madres puertorriqueñas en el mundo para ustedes esta victoria.
And all the mothers, and all the Puerto Rican mothers throughout the world. This is for you.
Que viva Puerto Rico.
And viva Puerto Rico.
¡Viva Puerto Rico!
Thank you very much. Back to you.